can get it at home and then do it. Okay. The purpose of this class is for nursing, for medical people. So you're able to take care of all the math necessary that would involve going into a medical field in a, whether it be a nursing or assistant or any kind of, outside of being a doctor. But who knows where you take it after this? Maybe math flicks for you. And it has happened. I was watching a TED Talk last night, because that's what I like to do. What's something, you know, the first one I ever actually watched. But it was this Australian woman who, when she showed her grades from her, I think it was her 8th grade year, and she had a 12 out of 20, may have been a 2 out of 20 in math. Her best grade was French. But when she turned 18 and went to university, math clicked for her. Now she's up doing TED Talks on statistics and that. It clicked. Lights can go on. And when you get to my age, they tend to feel math. But math is a muscle. Your brain is a muscle. If you don't go to the gym regularly and work the muscle out, it does fade on. It atrophies. If you've been away from math for a long time, it's going to atrophy. If you don't do the homework, it's going to atrophy. If all you do is watch and hope you can still do whatever you're seeing, oh, I get it. That's not enough. I can watch Michael Jordan, dunk a basketball. Does not mean I can do it. Watching is not the same as doing. If math was so easy, everybody would not have a problem with it. I'd be out of a job. If math was loved by everybody, my life would be a lot happier. But I know it's not everybody's favorite subject. Try being me, going to a party and people asking me what I do for a living, and then I have to be a psychologist and listen to all their angry, pent-up frustrations when they were a freshman in high school. Oh, I hated it. Sorry. But it might change for you. I've seen it happen to a few students out of the last 36 years of teaching. But the goal for you, whatever you wrote down, and I'll read, the goal for you is, number one, to make it all the way through to December. And to hopefully, at least my goal is, to learn something. To learn that you can actually overcome whatever has prevented you in the past. And to learn that I'm not your enemy, please use me like you've never used the future before. Office hours or what, ask questions in class. Do not let this be one person up here just going blah, 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 that Charlie Brown's teaching. You don't understand what the heck she's saying? If you wait to ask the question, number one, the question becomes irrelevant because we moved on. But number two, you forgot what you're going to ask anyway. Interrupts. Perfectly fine. Perfectly fine. I'd rather have that happen so we can address what everything's said than not know it. This is prerequisite math practice test for the LPS and RM program. This is just the prerequisite to get into the program. So this is not necessarily the chemistry or the sciences or the biology. This is just to get into something that would allow you to do those things. Now, granted, these are just basic operations on integers, arithmetic. And I just quickly cut and pasted a few things. This is not homework, but we will go over these, in the next couple of days as everybody's getting their stuff together. Actually, I did not mean that. I'll tell you what, I'm going to show you all of this, but what I did was I cut and pasted a few of these, but I didn't want to do all of them. Operations on fractions. This is everything you should be showing up into this class with, which is why we have this class, the 304 PL. So we handle some of these ideas before we actually take it further in the 4P class. The worst thing that happened was when the laws changed and we cannot teach the foundation class. And I'm not going to get onto the soapbox anymore because that hasn't done any good. This is what has to happen in order for everybody to get back onto that level playing. Fraction work, word problems. If you're going into medical fields, life is a word problem. You're solving problems all the time. And you don't realize, yes, you use mathematics to solve those things. A lot of degrees. You just don't realize you're doing it. Decimals, percents, fractions, greater than and less than's. What percent, what is 25% of 60? We want to work on quicker ways to do those, maybe even without a calculator. Conversion, if you don't know what the conversion rate from milligram to micrograms are, then you need a chart. But once you have the chart, how does it convert? How do you use it? Inches and centimeters, milliliters and teaspoons, more word problems. One of my best friends, when he got to Fresno from Iowa, went to Hoover High School. This is back in 1982. That was one time. He stopped at, I think he stopped taking math and algebra. So he went to Fresno City College. He took algebra again 7 times. Back then he could take a class 4. And he would drop it 6 times. On the 7th time, he would came and celebrate at the bar. I coached basketball. We celebrate at the bar after one of our big JV basketball wins. And he said, Jimbo, I finally passed that math line. I got an A. You just got to know the rules. Yeah, we've done you that for a long time. He's a teacher. Then he taught auto shop, metal shop, wood shop. He's one of the smartest friends I've ever had. Because he's so good in English. He's read more books than any of my other friends. On everything. He sends me articles on astronomy, on mathematics, on the things that he knows that I want to read. And when he taught for his first teaching assignment in Chatsworth High School down in LA, he was teaching auto shop. He asked his principal, these kids don't know basic math. Can I teach a basic math class? Because they can't even do the rule. And the principal said, no, you need a degree in mathematics to be able to teach mathematics at the junior high or high school level. So he wasn't, by law, allowed to provide the course because for the students that he knew needed it. But, he still did what he could within the class, but he still had to cover the curriculum that he needed to cover. Reading the rules, reading charts, and understanding the data and then solving equations. All right, so we'll get to let's talk about the syllabus for this class. So my name's Jim Escalade, you know, a whole bunch of background just a little while ago. Again, support for mathematics college students. This is where you're gonna find me if you're gonna be looking for me. I rarely am gonna be in my office. Okay, but I'll get to that in just a minute and when and why I might be there once in a while. The phone number is kind of useless because I'm rarely in the office. Best way to get a hold of me is the email. My office hours, because we meet Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 8:30. So my office hours are Monday through Friday at 7:30 until 8:20. And then I have one more office hour on Tuesdays after my last class at 1:30 to 2:20. After your 4P class is over, I cannot stay in this classroom because there's another teacher that comes in. But if you have any questions or something like after the 4P class, might be tired of me by then, we can find another place to go. If there's something that you need. We'll see some of these dates again. We'll go over these dates because there's more to them. This is a non-credit support class for students concurrently in math working. Just in time remediation, so we know what we're going to be doing in the 9:30 class. Going to vary depending upon student needs, but may include order of operations, solving and graphing equations, inequality, rules of exponents, transforming algebraic functions, inverse functions, factoring and simplifying, reading and graphs contained. So all of these things right here, I'll let you read the objectives and the learning objectives, the course objectives and the student learning objectives. Those are the things that we're going to be covering. But I know your most important ideas are, how do I pass this one? There's no letter grade. It is pass, no pass. Okay? There's no homework. There's no quizzes. There's no test for this class. Okay? Passing this class rests solely on the completion of daily in-class assignments, worksheets, and participation. There are times when I might, like right now, you didn't turn in that "Who am I?" looking for that participation. If you're not here, you can't participate, so that's participation. Every time you're here, that's 10 points. If there's more things that we're doing, if there's anything that we do in class and we turn it in, that's more on top of it. You don't turn it in, then you weren't here. It's hard to not turn something in if all you're doing is it. There's nothing you have to do outside. You have to earn 70% to receive a passing grade. Okay. If you earn 100%, it's still a pass. So if you're somewhere in 70 and 100, it's just a pass. If you're absent, I'll give you a day to, if you're absent 2 days, I'll give you 2 days to, if there was anything to turn in. Okay. If you're absent, I'll allow you 1 day to submit any missed classwork after your return. Once that day has passed, the missing work will not be accepted and will be reported as 0. Now, here's the deal. What if there was nothing to be turned in and it was just a needed to be here to participate? Just a matter of, being present. So here's how it goes. Email. If you're not going to be here, all I ask is that you just email me, not through Canvas. One more time for people watching at home, do not email me through Canvas. I will send you an email every day after class. I email you through Canvas because I email the entire class. I don't want you to just reply. Because I get real paranoid about hidden reply. I've done that in the past, and it wasn't something I should have. Long time ago in classroom of long ago. So just email my Outlook account from your student account and just say, I'm not going to be here. And then it's just going to be there's no such thing as an excused absent college level. I do not want a doctor's note. I don't really care what the reason is. I really don't. So please don't worry about having to explain it to me. You're adults. But just let me know so I know that you're not, you are still mindful of what we're doing in class. You're communicating. But and just because I don't want to know, I don't know how to respond when I hear somebody, like my brother died in May. I didn't want to send a lot of people emails about, hey, my brother died. Because I didn't want to put them, I know how I feel when I get an email saying, well, so-and-so is, that. What I say? That's me. And I sometimes will agonize when I say something. Okay, thanks, great, thanks for letting me know. I don't. I get real mad. But just tell me you're not. I know I just got real awkward with this. But just tell me you're not going to be here. And then what's going to happen is it'll just be an excuse, or it's not going to count against you. You're not going to lose 10 points. Make sense? You don't have to make it up if you're just absent. If we did something, then if it's something that you can do, then we'll take care of that when you come back. But there's no test, no homework, no quizzes, nothing. Any questions? Okay. So 6 missed class sessions. You will be dropped from the class, although it's your responsibility to drop yourself if you're no longer attending. The students expect to be in seats beginning of class or the count as absent. Students are also expected to be punctual for class, multiple tardies, and leaving early without communication. If you leave early and then send me an email telling me, hey, sorry, I had to leave early, but I didn't want to interrupt, that's fine too. Okay. 2 tardies equal to an absence, 2 leaving early is equal to an absence. Just if I don't hear from, if there's no communication. Okay. I'm not going to respond to those kinds of things. I'm just keeping track of it. Your classes, the 304PL and the 4P are tied together. So if you start missing this class and you get 6 absences in this class and you're dropped from this class, you get dropped from 4P. Okay, well, in this class, there's not a lot of dishonesty for not taking quizzes and testing things. Okay. And please stay off the cell phone while you're in class. If you have to make a call, send a text or whatever it might be, just stay outside. It's perfectly fine. I don't mind. If there's something you have, it's emergency, I don't mind. What I do mind is when you're constant, your focus is not on us. If it's something real quick, I don't mind because I probably won't be locked in on it because your phone is always out in your hands and you're just, I don't know if you're playing Wordle or what. But if you're not going to pay attention to class, there's no point in meeting. It's a distraction. And you may not think it's a distraction, but you're distracting me. And that means I end up stopping class and start having a pain in my neck. Headphones are off, earplugs are out, AirPod, whatever they are. Okay. If it continues for more than 2 days, if it continues, I can suspend you from class for 2 days, and your asked to leave, and that day's work may not be made. So again, that's more pertinent to the 14th. If you have a verified need for an academic accommodation for materials in alternate media, braille, large print, electronic text, per the Americans with Disability Act or Section 504 of the Rehabilitation Act, let me know as soon as possible. Okay. Questions on that? I'm going to take roll in just a quick second, but I want to show you the Canvas page for this class. So this is up. So on the, there's not going to be a lot on this class's Canvas page because there's not a lot of communication that's going to happen. So that's the first page. There's my schedule, which is this right here. You guys are Monday, Wednesday, Friday. The yellows are my office hours. And then there's my Tuesday, Thursday, which are 2 different classes. Okay. There's the link to the YouTube channel. I'm going to send you a direct link to that day's YouTube video, so you don't have to go to the channel and try to find it. But you can always go to that channel and go to the playlist from Math 4P and Math 304PL. I'll separate them so you don't have to watch 2 hours or 2.5 hours of the whole thing. I'll slice it up. And then the syllabus will be over here. There's a syllabus. Right there, if you need it. And that's all you're going to see in the 304 PL. So let me take roll with this class. And if I butcher the pronunciation, let me know, and I will try to correct it as we go. Okay, Valerie's Engines. Jason Lampier. Manuel Garcia Ford. Brianna Gill. Noemi O'Hara. Daniel Goldman. Carmen Polito. Edith Mendoza. Michaela Salazar. Sarah. Michaela. I'm gonna miss this one. Sarah Hernandez Vasquez. So Sarah. Sophia Seha. Mia Harris. Mukazia. Here. Liliana Ramirez. Jesus Perez. Alexa Escobar. Elizabeth Von Harlis Hernandez. Justin Cortez Bravo. Ashley Ojeda Aquino. Jasmine Segura. Mary Jane Torres. Catherine Perez. Paloma Contreras Sandoval. Juliana Reyes. Jenny Quintana Morales. Correct. Isla Ortiz. Right. Okay. Ana Garcia Cuevana. Guadalupe Mejia Romero. Mariana Mejia Morgan. Miranda Fuentes. Miranda Fuentes. Filipina. Priscilla Rodriguez. Fatima Lopez Pablo. Emma Martin. Was anybody not called? Give me a quick second. Okay, come on back at 9:30, and you'll get the second conclusion of the day.